Welcome back, everybody. Driver53 here with another short video on precision farming in Farming Simulator 19. And you may be asking yourself, what's Driver doing standing in the middle of a field that he's already harvested? Well, we're going to try out a little experiment here. And I've got a question for you. Do you use automatic or manual application when you're putting down nitrogen and pH? Simple question, right? But I've heard a lot of different answers to this. I've got some people saying that they put down every single harvest. They're going to put down lime. I've got some people say they're going to do it every 3 harvests. And then I've got some people that say, well, we're just going to go all the way to the max, all the way till it's blue, and then just let it eat. And then other people on fertilizer are like, you got to do it automatically and just let it sit there. And other people are like, we got to fully fertilize it all the way to the max. That way you get the most yield. And I don't know which one's right. I think I know, based on what everything has been telling us so far from Giants, that everything has a very specific target. So what I want to do is I want to divide this up. And on one side, I'm going to do full lime as far as I can, as far as it'll let me, manual application. And I'm going to do full fertilizer, manual application as far as it'll let me. The other side, we're going to do everything automatic. And I'm going to switch up crops. So we just got done doing wheat, okay? I'm going to do, oh, what was it? What did I say? Oats. I'm going to do oats next. And then after oats, I'm going to throw in some soybeans. And then after soybeans, I'm going to throw in some canola. So, it ought to be really, really interesting how this plays out. So, first thing I got to do is kind of divide my field here a little bit with a landscape tool. That way we're making sure that we're not crossing over and everything while I've got workers going, because I'm going to try and have multiple operations going on at once here, just to save me a little bit of time. And that way we can get through this a little bit faster, because I've got a lot of other tests that I want to do. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm excited. I am really, really excited to know automatic or manual and just take everything to the max. I think that's going to be a great test. Absolutely great. So let me do a little landscaping here, and then we'll be right back. All right, everybody. I got everything lined up, and I marked which side was going to be the max side. So what we've got is, like I said, this field just came out of wheat, and we're going to be going to oats now. So if I come across and we look at growth, everything is fully harvested. And when I come to soil composition, it does not need plowing. So we're going to go straight into applying our pH, our lime. Now, we know that most of this, let me show you this. I'm not super worried about the, how do I want to say this? The disproportionate that it is here. I know that my loam needs to be 125% on everything. Okay, and then my sandy loam is going to be at 100%. So I'm either going to be at 100 or 125. And then the silty clay out there, it's kind of an outlier, but it's going to be at 90. So that's what's going on here. So on the upper side of my fields, what I wanted to see is I should see 125% all the time on all these crops. On the bottom percent, I should be 125 or 100, maybe like a 115, somewhere in there, right? But what we're going to do is the upper half is going to be the max, because I want to know exactly what is that going to do to that. Now, if it stays at 125 and I go full max of everything, then okay, for those crops, that's going to work, right? And then we'll see. We'll just see as we get into it. But what I'm going to do now is go ahead and apply this one automatic. And the way that I know it's automatic is if I look at my menu over here, I can see the 4th or the third one down says deactivate automatic application rate. So what that means is if I go forward, it's going to say, hey, you need to put 0.25 down to be able to get exactly where this needs to be at. Now it's going to change depending on where I'm at. All right, I'm in sandy loam right now. When I get over to the loam, it's going to give me a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and kick this on, and I'm doing a myself, but it's an automatic application. Okay, the distribution is automatic. So, or the application rate is automatic. Let me say it that way. So, I'm going to do the rest of this field with a worker, and then I'm going to go over to the other one and show you what I mean over there. So we're going to get this worker going. Maybe. There we go. So we're going to hop out, come over here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to deactivate. Okay. Now I can see I can change my application rate. So if I pull forward, so it looks like, oh, there we go. I want this thing fully maxed out. Wherever I can get this right there. That's what I want. Alright, so here we go. Now, this may change also as I'm going along. If it does, and I don't know, this is the first time I've played this, so it's going to be interesting. We'll come back and we'll look at this and see if it got it. If not, we'll throw some more down. So let me finish this up and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's take a look at the map. Alright, so here we are. So these, once again, are soil types. Alright. So when we go to pH, ooh, wow, look at that. So this one here, we know that the sandy loam needs 6.5. The loam needs 6.75. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So what I need to do is come back across, hit this a little bit more manually, and maybe touch these other few spots right here. And that's going to max that thing out all the way at 8. If I do that, you can see a lot of that's already 8. So what I'm going to do, come back, finish this up, and we'll be back and ready for the next step. Alright everybody, so what I did is I hit that strip 2 more times, and I have no idea why it's not changing. I thought I was doing everything right. I mean, I guess I could crank this out. Full max. Alright, let's hit it one more time. I don't have very much left, but let's see if it works. Maybe. That really didn't do anything. Alright. Not sure what's going on there. We're going to leave it though. That's 3 passes over it. That's as far as I can get it. So now we're going to go on to fertilizer. And I want to do something a little bit different than I said I was going to do. I want to turn this into a square, if that makes sense. So what I want to do, or like a four corners, okay? So what I want to do, let me hop out of here. And on my right hand side, I have max. Everything maxed out. On my left hand side, I have automatic. So I'm thinking what I want to do is come right about here in the middle and go max fertilizer, automatic fertilizer. Now what that's going to give me, okay, is a square of automatic. All right? Automatic fert, automatic, well, automatic pH, automatic nitrogen. It's going to give me an automatic pH, max nitrogen. It's going to give me max pH, automatic nitrogen. And it's going to give me max pH, max nitrogen. So, that's what I'm going to do. Let me get this strip going right down through the middle here. And then we'll start spreading some nitrogen on the field. Alright, this is going to be our automatic application of manure. So you can see up there it says deactivate automatic. I do not want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on and get going. And like I said, this is going to be automatic. And what this is doing is just bringing it up closer to where it should be for the crops. I hope. We are putting oats in here. And oats require 140 nitrogen. So we should be really close with this actually. Alright, I'm gonna spread a little bit more here. And then we'll get to the other side. And I think what I'm going to do over there is just do straight mineral fertilizer. No manure at all. So I will see you guys in just a second. Alright, so once again we are going to deactivate automatic results. And we are going to change the application rate as high as it'll go. Looks like 740 kilograms a hectare. So make sure our spread's okay. Yep. Alright, so here we go. We're throwing this on this half right here. Now this should get us to 200, like beyond 200. Okay. And then we'll put some seeds in the ground and see how we are in relation to that. Alright, so one thing I want to look at is I want to go and look at the nitrogen levels. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's what I wanted to see. So if we look here, we can see 50-50, and here we can see 50-50 the other direction. So now we have four corners of this all in different acceptable levels, I guess you could say. So next we need to put seed in the ground. That's not going to be something I can over or under actually cultivate and then seed. So that's not something I can over or under do. So we're just going to do it really quick, get those two done, and then we'll come back and see if this max side needs more fertilizer or more nitrogen, and we know that the other side is going to need more nitrogen. So we'll go ahead and hit that with the automatic, and if this thing over here needs any at all, then we'll hit it. And we may just hit it again anyway, just to get us up to the absolute max that we can. So that's what we're going to be doing. Alright, we got everything cultivated and seeded. We have oats in all the fields. I'll go ahead and show you that here. And we'll go over to fruit type, and you guys can see that we are on oats now in all 4 sections, and we've got it all separated out. I didn't do a very good job separating that, did I? Anyway, so what we're going to be looking at now is our nitrogen. And on this side here, this is our normal automatic application. I'm going to try and bump this up for oats. So I've got everything set on automatic. You can see it right now. And here we go. We're going to see what happens. So it is putting a little bit more down. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Only in spots though. So this one we're a little bit over automatically. This one we are right on exactly where we needed to be. So what we're going to do now, turn the corner and try it again. And you may have this. You may have this right here where you have pockets of perfect, over, and under, all in the same field because you have different soil conditions. But I think it's still important to go through and at least waste the gas to make sure. And I think the other interesting thing that I might want to do is, because the way this is working is it's like, you know, when I'm in that spot, you know how whenever you go in an area with the front of your tractor that doesn't like it, it doesn't let the back implement do anything? I think that's what may be happening here. So yeah, we're going to get a little bit more there. So what if I actually hit this kind of like this? What would happen? So nothing. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is turn this off, and I'm going to come over. We're going to hit this other side, but instead of automatic, we're just going to hit manual, and we're just going to hit everything, absolutely everything. Deactivate. We're going to shove this thing as high as it'll go. Application rate 249, 319, 740. Alright, that's as high as it'll let me go. Here we go. So we're just going to hit the entire field. And then we'll look at everything. Alright, everybody. So we're going to go right here in the middle and just stand because, I don't know, I like to feel like I'm in 4 places at once. So what we're going to do, look here at the nitrogen. As you can see, we applied fully to that other side, and it's everything there is at 200. So we are perfectly good there. And if I come up to about here, 140 is where we need to be at there, 120 there, and then 100's down there. So we are right where we need to be on everything. Oops. So that's it. Our pH, you know, we're good. We've got the double 50/50s going on. So what we need to do now is just let this all grow. So I'm going to crank up time, as you guys can see, right there. And we'll be back when this is all ready to harvest. So as you guys can see, everything is ready to harvest now. So if I jump over to the menu, you can see, you know, nothing changed here. Obviously nitrogen, pH. And if I run over here, you can see that we are in the first growth stage. So this is where I want to harvest at. So we're going to hop in here, and I'm going to knock it all out. I'm not going to worry about separating any of the grain because I'm not worried about values. I'm just worried about the percentages, which are going to show up on this menu right here. So hopefully this is going to change whenever you guys see it next. So see you in a minute. Well, everybody, as you can see, we got this wrapped up. Everything done here for this harvest. Now this is harvest number 2. Let's remember this. Alright, so we're going to go stand right out here in the middle and take a look at everything. Fully harvested, every little bit. So let's take a look at the map. Alright. So this is what we have for oats. This is the yield. So it's interesting to me because this is our map, right? So everything up here is pretty good land. and even over to here. So this should all of this area should be at the 125%, which is only that. Let me get that blue off there. So this next bit that we have here is 115. And that's interesting. And then 110 is the rest of it. And if you look at our land, we should be getting a lot more out of that. So what that's telling me is we have something over where it should be. All right. And we know that the top side up here had more lime spread. So it looks like it's had a negative effect. And then this side over here had fertilizer, extra fertilizer applied to it, nitrogen. So if we keep going on our yield, all right, we go to the next step, 105. Nothing was at 105. Now we go to 100. So that is exactly where that should be for our soil type. All right, for sandy loam, that is exactly where that should be at. So 100% on that is good. Now the next is 95. So it looks like we lost 5% whenever we, yep. So this side, that corner had too much fertilizer only. So we lost 5% by having too much fertilizer. So it's not huge, but I mean 5%, if that's on a big map or a big field, that's a lot. So over here, everything was perfect as it should have been. This one here, in this area, we lost 5%. And I believe we also lost, you know, instead of being, so here was okay. But if we look here, it's just that one little strip. So yeah, we're okay. So it appears like on loam, we didn't actually, it didn't hurt us by having the extra fertilizer on there. Do you guys see that? That's quite interesting. Really interesting. All right. And then as we keep going down, you can see that, it, you know, that extra nitrogen or an extra pH lime really did hurt us. So that's really, really intriguing. Now, if we come and we take a look at nitrogen, look at that, y'all. The left side, the one that we did normal, came way back down where it should have been. And the one on the right side is way up high. Now let's take a look and see what these levels are. So nothing's at 0, 20, 40, 60. 60 is like the first little bit. And then 80. So that's really, really interesting. I said I wanted to do, what was it? Soybeans next. But I want to take a look at the soybeans and make sure what they're doing with the amount that they take out. So they don't put any, they don't require any and don't take any out. And then the one after this, we were talking about doing barley or canola. Canola. I'm going to go ahead and do canola now. And the reason is because I think that we're too high still even for soybeans on my main field. I need to be down really low on that. So I think I'm definitely going to go ahead and, yeah, we're going to do canola next. And let's go ahead and look at our pH while we're at it too. So it's getting where it should be. It dropped down a little bit. The one side's still really, really blue though. Wow. You see that? We didn't take anything out of it in this harvest. Absolutely nothing. That is Really, really interesting. Wow. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-lime everything. And then I will come back and make sure these two fields are... You know what? No. On this one, I think we proved what we needed to there. I'm going to come back on the next one. Leave these alone, because they were where they needed to be. And these two, I'm going to put them back... Just back up to normal. Yeah. I think I'm going to put them back up to normal. And then on fertilizer, we're going to hit probably nothing, since we already have like 60. And canola only needs to go to... Ooh. No, I'm gonna throw some manure on this side. And this side I'll hit with liquid. Or not liquid, but mineral. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so we got our nitrogen spreader here, and what we're going to do is go ahead and turn it on, and we've got it set to automatic. So we're going to go across our fields here and just see if it's going to pick anything up. Yep, it's going to give us just a little bit. So we're going to go all the way across. Then on the other side, we're going to hit manual, and then we will be good to go. And then I will see you guys when it's time to harvest. Alright, here we are harvesting the canola, and it's going to be very interesting to know, you know, where the nitrogen ends up on this. Now, my goal was to get down low enough that then we could put soybeans in, because I want to test soybeans too to see what kind of harm comes to being over fertilized on those. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna get this guy going again, all the way done, and then we're gonna set and look at that and get started on the other. Now, I don't want to start putting anything down on the ground right now. I thought about it just to kind of save a little bit of time, because this test has taken quite a while. This is now the third harvest, and we're gonna do another one on top of this too. So, not that it's not worth it. I really, really feel that it is. I just also feel like we might need to do a more controlled test than just this, and kind of knock everything out all at once. So that's something that I'm going to be looking to figure out how I can do. But until then, we're going to keep harvesting. All right, so we are done with harvest number 3 now. And it's really, really interesting. Again, let's go ahead and take a look. So this is our nitrogen levels, and as you can see, you know, it's down around 60. That's the most of it. We do have some 80 in here also. So it's still not really taking anything out for that nitrogen, or taking the nitrogen out for the soybeans, because the soybeans don't need any. So what I'm going to do now is throw the soybeans in here and see how much we can... And the other really interesting thing is, this is the side with the max, and this side isn't, and this side still has it like solid, and this side has patches. But let's look at our pH. Yeah, we need to throw a little bit more in here before this one. And then nitrogen, it's really odd, like I said, that it's solid all the way across. I'm not sure why. We should have a little bit of a patch right here. So I think this is just bringing up more questions than answers, honestly. I think I've got a couple too many variables in this. But I think once we look at this, we can see that, you know, here's 125%. So on oats, it seems like you can over fertilize and not matter. You know, and then we come down here, and I think it's because oats actually take 200. So I think oats is okay. So let's throw soybeans in it now, and we'll do the exact same thing. Over fertilize like crazy, and see, and over fertilize, and then I guess nothing on this other side. We don't need it because they take 0. So we'll do that, and yeah, we'll come back and I'll show you guys the end result of that. All right, so we got the soybeans in here, and I want to show you guys this. Look at the bottom down there where it says crop does not require additional fertilizer. We're at 60 kilograms right now. In this section over here, we're at 80 and 60. Over here, we're at 60. And then this one, we're at 60. So, I want to leave this first side alone. But what I want to do also is take and deactivate my automatic. And we're going to load this side up. Alright, here we go. So this should get us to... Oh, do you guys see this? Look at the requirement right there. How the checkered flag is on 0. That's awesome. So, we are gonna spread fert on this entire area. And then we'll come back and look at the map really quick, and then we'll let it grow, and then come back and harvest it and see what it looks like. So this is just a few different crops in the same field. Like I said, I may have too many variables here, and I may need to do this a little bit more controlled with all the crops, but that's going to require a lot bigger field, and I don't know the best one right now, so that may take me a couple days to get figured out. But I just wanted to show you this here right now with the available spot that I had. So what we're going to go to is here, and then pH. Okay. Now this is nitrogen, and as you can see, the one side full green, the other side is around 60. So it's time to crank out the speed, and I will see you guys after harvest. Alright, so we just finished up the soybean harvest. So let's go out here in the field and take a look at what we have. Alright, so as you can see, we still have 100 kilograms of nitrogen in this section here. We have 0 over here. What? Zero nitrogen here. 0 nitrogen here. 100 here. And 100 here. Now, this is a very, very, very odd thing to me, because on this half of the field, we didn't add anything because it was already okay. But over here, we made it a max 200. So let's look at the map. Alright, so this is our soil types here, and this is our pH. Okay. And this is our nitrogen. What happened? I've been hearing about this. I really, really have. I've been hearing about people's nitrogen levels just completely disappearing and not being able to do anything to bring it back. I think this is a bug. Yeah. Because over on this other side over here, we didn't touch it. We didn't put any more on it. But here, we did. And I wonder... And it's only happening with soybeans also. It's not happening with the other crops. It's only happening with soybeans. And... wow. Okay. So I think I'm done. I think this test right here, there's nothing more that I'm going to be able to do. And the reason is because, yeah, like I said, the reason is because I'm not going to be able to get this back. There's been people that have said they've completely, um, got out, came back in. The only thing I could do is like go back to an old game save. And yeah, I really don't want to redo all these harvests again. But this is very interesting, everyone. So do not max out your soybeans. That is really weird. I mean, everything else is okay. Now let's look at yield. Yield, it doesn't seem like it cared either. Looks like they may be immune to over-fertilization. So, all right, everybody. Like I said, this is going to be the end right here. There's nothing else that I can do. Once this happens, I don't think there's a way to get it back at all. So, I'm going to move on to another test map. I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do it differently, and it's going to be a lot more controlled. I wasn't expecting to have this many questions after I did this, and I really feel like we need to have better answers. I'm not saying this was a waste, because I learned a lot of stuff here that's going to, like, go forward, and I just wanted to share this with you. I feel like some crops are going to be not okay if you over fertilize by about 15 to 20 points. Maybe 10 if you're lucky, but I think 15 is going to be a good number. But what we're going to do is set up a control that has different stages, and it's going to be insane. What I think I'm going to end up having to do. So, I hope you guys like this. Hope you guys learned something from it. If you did, give me a thumbs up if you would. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and head over there and check out all my stuff. I got a lot of other testing videos like this, do some Let's Plays, do other challenges, map tours. So yeah, a lot of good stuff for the community, I feel like. And if there's any questions you have, definitely let me know. I'm all about testing this. I really, really like what's going on here. And I'm just trying to think. The reason I keep spinning around is I'm trying to think about what I did wrong. And I don't know if I did anything other than what a normal player would do. So, yeah. I just want to say, have a great day, everybody. And until next time, this is Driver 53, signing off.